I'll start when. Have you ever heard this line? Perhaps you've used it yourself. You know, it's most commonly used around health and fitness. Let's be realistic here. This notion of, I'll start on Monday. I'll start next week. I'll start next month. I'll start in January. New year, new me. All of those things go hand in hand. This concept of I'll start when I reach X, or, you know, when we move house, or when the stress alleviates, or when the kids are a bit older, or, you know, when I'm not working so many hours. Do you know the problem? Do you know why the majority of these things never last? Is because before you've even begun, you've started from a point of, I have to wait until conditions are right. Conditions are perfect. And here, do you want to know the dirty, dirty little secret of the world, of life, of all those things that come together, is that life just keeps moving on. The world just keeps turning. And the conditions are never going to be perfect. They're never gonna be right. And even if they are, they won't stay that way very long. So you need to keep moving forward. You need to just start. And this is part of the 126 program. This is part of this notion that it's been built into, because you will face obstacles. You will face challenges. You will face things going wrong. You will face many different opportunities to back out, to say no, to quit, to call it on it. And part of it is you have to learn to just do the work regardless. And I was having this conversation with a friend of mine about, you know, growing this and building it. And he's like, you have this double-edged sword. Part of it is that this is a badge of honor. If you can actually complete 126 to greatness, you can do it properly, there's a great badge of honor that goes with that. It puts you in a small group, because only a small group of men will have the capacity to actually complete this and do this properly. But on the flip side, it limits how many people you can reach, because only a small group of people will even consider trying it, let alone finishing it. And this is the rub. And it is that hard one. From a business point of view, that is an issue. From what I'm trying to create, not really. This is the whole point. This is what we are trying to do. I am trying to push you towards being in that elite few, those who can just do the work regardless of what life throws at you, because there will be all these things that come up. And as I said, so many people are like, when my life is perfect, I will do this. And then as soon as things aren't perfect again, they fucking bail again. It's why when you make the decision to go all in on this, you should just fucking start. You should just start and do the work. And then from then on, you just do the work, no matter what. And that's what this is about. It's about learning this skill. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of the circumstances. Character is revealed and defined in the moments when everything is against you, when you have every opportunity to back out, to quit, to crumble, to run away and hide, and you choose to stand and fight. You choose to do the things that you said you would do. And I think this is one of the most important skills that we must obtain through 126 to greatness, because it is only a skill that can be developed and earned through doing really difficult things, and not just once, but consistently, over and over and over and over again, choosing the difficult paths. And I've spoken about it a few times, and it's like, especially like when it comes to the fitness isn't the main point. It is a tool to create the mental toughness that comes with it. Yes, I will teach all the fitness. I will teach you how to utilize this to get into the best shape of your life. But it is the tool to get you there. And there are days when your workouts will be dog shit. And that is okay. Because it's about the mental toughness of you still showed the fuck up and did the work, regardless of how you felt. And I think that's a really valuable lesson. Like, I had it last night, that the day just didn't go well. It did not. And look, I'm going to fully own it. I made some poor life choices. There were moments when I could have gotten stuck into my workout straight away, and I opted not to. Because, as I said to you all along, I'm leading by example, but I'm still in the motherfucking trenches with you. I am here with you doing this work and learning the lessons as we go. And as you get tired and as stresses and things build up, you will make worse choices. And these are your opportunities where you get to override those voices in your head and find a new gear and push forward, you know? And due to, you know, building factors such as working, moving house, all these kinds of things, I'm still sick, I made a poor choice. Well, I made multiple poor choices. And I ended up having to work out at 10:30 last night. And that workout was horrendous. Like, even as I'm doing it, I'm like, wow, like, what is even going on here? But it got done. And that's where I won. Because I didn't want to. Like, so here's the full story. My son woke up at about 9 o'clock, and so I had to go back in and put him back to sleep. And I fell asleep. I am that tired that I am putting my son back to sleep, and I fell asleep right beside him. And he eventually rolled over, and that woke me up. And, you know, then he was asleep, so I left him and went back to mine. Like, I left the bedroom. In those moments, it would be incredibly easy to be like, well, I need to stop and rest. I'm clearly tired. I've just slept for half an hour. I could just climb into bed, go to sleep, and call it a day. But I hadn't kept my word. And we are far too far into this process for me to not keep my word. And that's what I mean. Like, that voice kicked in. And though there was every excuse under the sun, though I had every reason not to want to do it, it spoke up and was like, no, it is go time. It is time to get in there and get shit done. And that's the part of the habits that we're building. So, you know, I was exhausted. So the workout didn't look very good. The strength wasn't there. The energy wasn't high. But I overrode everything else that told me to just call it a day. And I did what was required. And this is the point of 126. It is why it demands perfection. There is no days off. There are no rest days. Because as I said, life is going to throw shit at you. It is gonna try and test you. And you have to be able to, in those moments when shit is coming at you, to still make the right choices. This is how we build character. This is how we reveal it. It's how we define it, and we make you into the man that you know you should be. The father, husband, and man that you want to be and that you can be. We already know that you are a good father. We are now trying to make you a great father, a great husband, a great man. And you have to take on these levels of difficulty, these challenges, these responsibilities to be pushed and to keep your word. You need to rise to the occasion when it's something bigger than you. And that is what we are working on through this. As I said to you before, fitness, exercise, all of this is just the tool to create these life-altering changes. And that's what we are focusing on. That is what we are trying to build through these. And it's why a 30-day program is a good start, but it's not the answer. It's why a 60-day or even a 90-day isn't enough. We need to ingrain these habits into who you are to fully refine the man that you are becoming. And then from there, we build on it, and we build on it, and we build on it. And so, yeah, you could just do one phase. But if you want to get the most out of it, you then ascend into the greatness club, and you keep pushing forward. You do the things that is going to allow you to refine the man so that you can continually get better. As I'm about to move into phase 2, I'm looking at it and going, how can I refine this process? What things can I add, and what things can I subtract from my current life that will improve? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, I have become a much better version of myself. I have become a better man, a better father, a better husband. But I'm also leaving things on the table. I have not excelled in all areas of my life. I have not pushed to the highest limit, even in my fitness, even in my nutrition. There are areas I could refine this back further to become even better. There are areas in terms of the business and how much work that goes into that I could refine and do it better. I could get better at no dopamine chasing. I created loopholes within that. And that's not strictly part of 126, it's just something I added in. Whereas for my phase 2, I'm going to add that in. It's going to be something that I am going to make a thing, that if I do start dopamine chasing and if I slip back into those bad habits, I have to start again. And, as I've discussed before, a certain level of ego and competitiveness is required in this life to be the best version of yourself. And my ego and my competitiveness will not let me fail at my own program. So by adding these things in, I will have to get them done, because if I've stated it, if I've documented it, if I've shared it with you, now it is a done deal. Because in the best possible way, we are now competing. And that's part of 126 as well. You need people to compete against. You need other men to push you, to help you become the best version of yourself. And this is part of that you do need to become the best version of yourself. So you need to compete against others. And it's part of why I created this program on this level. I want people to compete against. I want you to come up and compete against me. And if you kick my ass, fantastic. I am going to celebrate you, and we are going to be proud of that effort. But on the flip side, now I've got a target. Now I've got someone else to compete against, something else to beat. And we need this. We as men need this competition, this drive, this push to be better, to work in competition against others. I think it's a big part of the softnesses of our society, of where men have lost their competitive edge, which says it all, but why they're meek and pathetic and, to be truthful, unattractive. It's why we have reached this point where a lot of women do not find these men attractive, because they aren't protectors, they aren't providers, they aren't strong and competitive men. There's a big difference between, dick measuring competitions and the ability to compete and push yourself forward. It's why this idea of participation trophies is a fucking joke. We need to compete. We need to be pushed. We can't settle for where we are, because there is no stagnation. There is no staying at the same level. You are either growing or you are dying, and there is nothing in between. Thus, why we need to compete against others in a positive environment where you can compete and you can want to dominate and you can want to win in that positive way, not to destroy others, but to elevate yourself. And then that in turn forces them to get better, to elevate, to push forward. Competition is how we grow. It's how we develop. It's how we become the best versions of ourselves. Because if you live in a bubble, in this isolation, and then there is just you and nothing else to compete against, what hope do you have of becoming the best version of yourself? You can't, because you will settle. You have nothing to strive for. You have nothing to push you outside of your comfort zone. So we need that competition. We need something to force us forward. And that's part of the 126. That's part of what we are doing here. It's part of becoming the best version of yourself. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took some lessons from it and realized that now is your moment. Not next week, not next month, not when X happens, now. It is now is the moment to burn the motherfucking boats and go all in, to take that chance and discover who you could be, who you could become, to become the best father, husband, and man you could be. Now is your moment. So if you are truly ready, it's time to go all in. Message me and let's make that a reality. On the flip side, if you aren't quite ready for that, join the Daily Greatness. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Got sidetracked. Join the Daily Greatness. Link is in my bio, and I will send you daily updates on how to become the best husband, father, and man you can be. Lastly, if there was something in here that connected with you, that spoke to you, and you know that there are others who need to hear it, please like, share, comment, send it to another father, another man who needs to get involved in this. I'm trying to create a movement that is going to change the game. So until then.